Hello, Swivelheads. Greg Allison here. Nuke war news that you can use, and why I say you can use, so you can take it to your friends and tell them what's cooking, so they'll start prepping. My friends, it is cooking because turns out that these sub munitions that we're sending over the TACMS missile, Medvedev has said that this could invoke nuclear war. And this time he might be serious. When you see what these things can do, and I'll show you some video, you're going to go, oh my gosh, and they're really bad. And we're sending a lot of them over, apparently, quite a few. These are devastating weapons. They're very controversial. Some of us even thought they were actually illegal now, but apparently not, or what? And we're going to talk about the war in Syria a little bit. We're going to talk about China. We're going to talk about quite a few things here. So let's get to it and start sharing some of these articles, because the world is cooking in strange ways. And we're going to start with this. In response to the NATO meeting, just going to be happening in Vilnius on the 11th and 12th, which is just a couple, 3 days from now, 3 and 4 days. Vladimir Putin is sending a warning. He's sending a very stark warning. He has sent 4 nuclear bombers to an Arctic island, which is kind of the readiness training and exercise. Canadian Prepper says there's no military exercises, only World War III surprises. Well, I don't know, but guys, here's what's happening. The Russians have sent their long-range aviation bombers and 2 supersonic bombers, the White Swan Tu-160 nuclear bomber plane. This is a Mach 2 real fast jet bomber, and they've also sent 2 of those giant propeller prop big heavy-duty bombers, the Tu-95MS, the ones that kind of resemble our B-52. It has similar missions, except it's got big propeller props on it. So I'll show you a picture of what these guys look like. Ding, ding, hang on. This is the Tupolev Tu-160. Let's see if we can zoom in on this guy. This guy here is a really fast bomber. It's a lot like our Valkyrie. The Valkyrie bomber that we created is a little bit faster than this one, but this is a big, heavy Mach 2 bomber, guys. So this is a very serious asset to be deployed by Russians. It means something that can get in fast. And if it were to be carrying, hypersonic missiles, they could get something on target really quick with it if they so chose. And then there is the old trusty big bear bomber that a lot of us are accustomed to. And so they call it Bear here, the Tu-95MS Bear. Let's have a look at this guy. This is a big, heavy duty, heavy payload bomber, can carry cruise missiles, hypersonic missiles, and a big bomb load. You can see it's set up for mid-air refueling. And apparently with these propellers, one of the advantages to propellers is long range, maybe, I don't know. Reliability. Russians can build jets, so why they stick with this, I don't know. But they see some advantage to that. Anyway, so for whatever that is, well, it doesn't mean they're going to use them, but they put their bombers in the air, and that's a fact. So let's go in here and look at this. Oh, shoot, can't get past that little ad thing there. But anyway, I'm going to show the whole article. This is Medvedev. He's saying that the U.S. cluster munitions risked nuclear war. Of course, he's been the guy, the crying wolf for some time about nuclear war. But let me show you some things about this, guys. Let me show y'all some things. Oh, yeah, let me open the chat room up here. I want to see what you guys are talking about. We're sending thousands of these, and each one has hundreds and hundreds of cluster munitions in each one. These are with the ATACMS. But according to this report, we're actually sending, well, it says hundreds of thousands. I guess you're counting the actual submunitions themselves. I can't believe it's going to be hundreds of thousands of rockets, because we don't have that many. But hundreds of thousands of cluster munitions, yeah, because there's a lot of them on each vehicle. I'm going to show you this. Here we are, guys. This is a video. I've shown this video before when I was talking about an approach for stopping hypersonic missiles, or something similar to this on a bigger scale, but using actually little drones instead of cluster munitions that would be deployed maybe similar to this, and might be a fragmentary explosive like this too, but out over water. This weapon system, now this is the ATACMS. It is in flight. It started to separate at this point the payload fairing here, which has the cluster munitions in it. And I'm trying to get this thing open here. Oh, open the wrong video. Oh shoot, anyway, I'm trying to get the chat room open, guys. So let's play this and look at what this thing does. This thing is devastating. It is simply devastating. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm not succeeding. Anyway, all right, here we go. You see it's starting to separate more. Now it's spinning. Now they all spun out. They did it real fast, but here's slow-mo. Here's all those submunitions, the cluster bombs spinning out. Here's what they do on the ground, guys. They totally devastate everything in the target area. Oh, they're not done. That's going to get blown up too, which you'll see in a little bit. Boom, see, it got hit right there. Everything on the field gets taken out. And if anything anywhere near you, see, these are fragments flying. If you're out here, even where you would be gone, even if you're not where the burst goes off. You see that stuff hitting? That's the fragments hitting this vehicle. So let's play that again. There it is coming in. There's coming into focus. This is already starting to open up. Spun up. So those things spin out real fast. Watch them. This is slow-mo. Real fast, and just rain down over the battlefield and take out everything. Everything. This is a devastating weapon. Devastating. You can take out entire tank columns of this stuff. You can take out large numbers of troops. This is why Russia is concerned. The first comments they made, they downplayed it, but then they came back. Now here is an attack that's coming out of the launcher. You might have seen me often pose in some of our videos back a few months ago underneath one of these, because I got one at Redstone Arsenal, and I've often done videos. This might even be a picture of the same one. I actually don't think that is the same one. It looks a little different. But I have been many times posed underneath one of these HIMARS launchers and also an MLRS launcher doing a video from Redstone Arsenal. If you go back through my videos, you can see these things behind me, and I've actually showcased them some, guys. So that is it. That is a devastating weapon. And the downside of that weapon is not all the clusters go off. And if they're left on the battlefield, you know, the concern is, this is the kind of thing that Princess Di was rallying against in mines. Unexploded munitions of this type can pose a severe hazard in the future for other people crossing the area, to include kids too. Tornadoes, we got tornadoes. Desert Rose, we're at. Anyway, how you doing, Desert Rose? Good to see you here. Captain Tips, I'll be a bat witch, excuse me. I'll bat witch. All right, soft targets. Yeah, definitely take out the soft targets, but you saw it took out a lot of hard targets there too. Well, they had a version they were coming with called Bats that was intended specifically for tanks. They discontinued that one. That was a Grumman projectile. All righty, guys. Let's see here. Here's a guy, another guy saying defeat for Ukraine would be a global disaster. NATO must step in and stop Russia. We got all these people calling for direct engagement between NATO and Russia. Can you believe it? Lots of people in there. Yes, Al Batwitch. Yes, definitely the HIMARS system. There's also the MLRS, which is a separate system. The HIMARS is more portable. It don't launch as many missiles as MLRS. It's got half the pack. It's far more mobile because you can put it on a C-130. C-130 running down the strip. Airborne daddy gonna take a little trip. All right, guys. So here we are. If this don't convince you, you need to prep. I don't know what does. That's why you need to share this with your friends and family. Share my channels. Here's a good way to prep. Is to get seeds. Right now, you can still plant a summer garden. You can still plant in fact, my friend in here, is she here? There she is. Few days always. Is she in here? Maybe she ain't got in here yet. Okay. Few days always plants sometimes in July. Where she's way up north in Maine, where the short growing season is very, you get so much sunlight, you can still grow a lot of stuff. Takes a while from the ground to thaw it up there. But anyway, so guys, this is non-GMO seeds. You can get heirloom seeds here. These are all heirloom, non-GMO. They got quite a choice here, all kind of garden vegetables and things like that. If you want to grow microgreens or sprouts, make gifts, seed assortments, a lot of different things here, guys. They got the supplies to grow it with. So check it out, guys. Check out this for your garden needs. You also go to Eden Brothers. I got links to both below. All right, enough of that. So there we are. Now this is to do with Syria. 3 Russian Su-35 fighters attempt to shoot down 3 U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drones in Syria. They dropped flares at them, a bunch of stuff. Well, there she is. There we go. Thank you there for that there, New Days. Sorry, she shared the links to both. Big Worm in jail. They now have an improvised weapon called a, oh, Lord. Guys, so what's happening in Syria? Are we, yeah, we're practically facing Russian troops in Syria. You know, I could do a whole video on this. This whole thing with Syria is, I've asked many times, why are we there? Why are we in Syria? You know, allegedly we went in because Assad's a bad guy. We went in allegedly originally to depose Assad because there's reports that he used chemical weapons on some of his people that were insurgent, or maybe on villages that had some people in them that were insurgent. And some people claim that that was actually the other side that used it. They claimed it was a flag not so true, if you know what I mean. I don't know. You know, there's been claims and counterclaims as to who launched those chemical agents and how they were used, who did it. I'm not even going to get into that because the fact of the matter is that the strange thing was before that war, al-Assad was very open to Christians inside of Syria. Christians lived well inside of Syria. They were protected, and there were a lot of them there. And then apparently initially we started funding groups inside Syria to rebel against Assad, to prosecute that civil war more so and push it farther. And some of these became or got allied with ISIS. And so later our mission there during the Trump administration was to stop ISIS. ISIS committed huge atrocities. So, you know, al-Baghdadi was the head of ISIS. There's a picture of John McCain, the guy behind him, a character behind him, was remarkably like al-Baghdadi. Now, some people say that's not him, but boy, the resemblance is highly uncanny. So, you know, remember John McCain made a special trip over there. You know, John McCain, it was like, you know, he was the father, the husband, original husband of Senator Lindsey Graham. I do think. So, so guys, this is, you know, that's where Lindsey Graham gets a lot of his hawk training. It was from McCain. And McCain was over there doing something. I don't know, guys. What he was over there doing, what they said he was, might be 2 different things. I was Granny in the house last. You found this very good. So, what? Hello, Timothy Bibb. So this whole thing with Syria is highly questionable. Here's what a lot of you guys don't know. You ever seen all those pictures of all those bombed out cities? That wasn't just rebels that attacked those cities. Quite often, that was American forces. We bombed entire cities, seemingly. Do you hear anything about that in our news? We went in and said, well, this city has got some ISIS in it, and just totally obliterated the entire city. Women, children, whoever was there would just be targeted and wiped out. So we contributed that refugee problem, all those people leaving Syria pouring into Europe. So that kind of, to me, harkens back to the My Lai massacre in the Vietnam War, in which, in that case, seemingly there was 4 Viet Cong in the village. Actually, when the village was attacked, I don't know if there were any there. What got put in, you know, I gotta be careful. I can't even talk about this on this channel. It was a great atrocity. Women and children. So I can't even talk here because I'll get a hit. So I'll stop that discussion here. I'll nip that in the bud so I don't get hit. But guys, it was a huge atrocity. And this thing going on in Syria might resemble that. So I got to go back and ask, why are we in Syria? I got my own opinions. One, why did Russia go in to defend al-Assad? Because al-Assad was an ally. I talk a lot about the Russian base and Sevastopol and being a warm water base. The only problem for Russia with the Sevastopol is they got to get through the strait. There was a Bosphorus Strait, or whatever it is, the one that Turkey controls completely, the interest in and out of the Black Sea. And Turkey is a member of NATO, but they have been of late until just very recently, last day or two, been very friendly to Russia and Ukraine. They've been playing both sides, but they seem to pick the side and chose Ukraine over Russia, and Russia's really furious. But see, Russia actually does have a very small Mediterranean port, a base, I think it's Tyre, in, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to pull back from memory, in Syria. And they really covet that base. They don't want it taken from them. But it could be that we're there because of that, but we've not hit that base. I really think it's because of this, because Assad was allied with Iran. And Israel's been plotting to hit Iran for some time. And the last thing Israel wanted to have to deal with is having an enemy on their left flank when they were going deep into Iran, getting hit from the side, from the flank by al-Assad. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I've been trying to figure out why we were such a sticker and why Israel has been into Syria so much, doing the things they've been doing. Now, this could lead to the biblical destruction of Damascus, as is prophesied in the Bible. Damascus is one of the oldest cities. And if you go back to the days of early Christendom, it was a big Christian city for a while. And where was Paul when he saw Jesus? I'm on the road to where? It wasn't Timbuktu, was it? Somebody help me out. Where was Paul on the road to when all that happened? Somebody answer in the chat session. I mean, somebody here probably studied the writings of Paul just a little bit. Maybe somebody knows the answer to that. I'm not seeing it yet. Doom Chaser, we cannot handle the truth. I like RFK. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hey, I like RFK. He's really interesting. So make him work up coffee money. There we go. We got to get some coffee money in there, huh? Hope to get there. Hey, Samuel, how you doing? Says, I've tried to send you a super chat, but for some reason it's not working. Oh, I got no idea why you can't send a super chat, Samuel. Maybe if I smurfed you would help out a little bit, because you've been such a good super trooper. I am going to smurf you, see if it gives you any extra power here. Boom, you got a ranch, Samuel Turner. You've been a big supporter of the channel. So maybe that'll give you more power in the whole scheme of things. Or maybe something to do with the finance and how you set it to pay stuff. I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe one of the other mods can answer you there. Love to all. Amen to that. Love is it. Yeah, there you go. TDTR. He was on the road to Damascus. Exactly. News Now Network. He was on the road to Damascus. So you can see Damascus was a very important city in the early Christendom and was still a Christian city. What did ISIS do? Who did they target? They slaughtered far more Christians than people that were taken out by the gas attacks. I gotta be careful. All this subject matter is kind of gets me on thin ice here, so I gotta be careful. I'm not showing any pictures or any violence. We're talking historical stuff, but still this is dangerous territory here. I hope I'm not too far over on it. So let's hope that I hadn't gone too far into that. So I will retract and say no more on that. Hi, Greg. Haven't caught up with the channel a bit. Okay. Hey, Tony, how you doing? I'll leave a super chat later. You got to refill it, Greg. Okay, that may be your problem there, Samuel. There you go, Samuel. That did work. Salute. Thank you, Samuel. All right. Fan-mo-tastic. Yeah, Samuel's one of our best supporters in here. We appreciate Samuel. Denzel, how you doing, Denzel? I was hoping somebody would correct me on this channel. America's not a no, we're a republic. We're a republic. Amen. All right, thank you, Samuel. Cool. All right, guys. So yeah, so why are we in Syria? Should we be there? Have we created greater atrocities ourselves than the ones that we were supposed to be trying to solve? Is it because the real answer is a bigger political picture than what they're willing to admit to us? I hear rumors this had a lot to do with what went on when we lost that ambassador in Libya. I don't want to talk about any more about that. That get me in trouble, definitely. So that's enough said on that. I'm just saying it's a rumor. But there's a lot of allegations out there. So I don't know, guys. You tell me. I don't know. Who am I? I'm just a worm farmer and a rocket scientist. But anyway, so guys, we're facing up against Russian troops over here. And again, we're a lot more testy with them. We're both operating in the same country. They're there by invitation. We're not. Our presence in Syria is an invasion. And I'll tell you another channel that pointed this out when Great Links talking about it earlier today. And that's my good friend Steve Popper over at the Popper Report. He really laid it out. So I'm not going to repeat him. But he says it's for oil money. I think it's a bigger thing. I think it's a strategic matter for a bigger war. Now you got to remember what Iran is aligned with Syria. Syria is aligned with Iran, and both are aligned with Russia. So, we may be moving. This is all just moving the chess pieces, getting them aligned for the big war. Maybe. Kind of smells that way. Let's hope not. Let's hope not, but it smells that way. Steve Irwin, no one has the power of one. Of course, God took it. Yeah, it all ultimately rests there with the greater creator. All right, guys. So here again, this is also another report on the close calls we're having there with Russian fighter jets launch parachute drones. Forced the U.S. drones to perform evasive maneuvers. So, be lucky right now that the Russians are only trying to attack our drones. You remember it was Hillary speaking on, I believe, Ellen DeGeneres show several years back, early in her campaign or just before her campaign for president, where she said she'd put a no-fly zone over all of Syria. And someone says, what would you do if a Russian MiG flew up into it? She said she'd take them down. And that's where my head just went, you got to be kidding me. She's trying to start World War III. That's what scared me about her right there more than anything. Of course, no, she scares me anyway. Lordy, guys. So here we are. Turkey is seemingly taking the side of Ukraine. Not only saying that Ukraine deserves NATO membership, which they didn't like that for Sweden and Finland, but he wants to bring Ukraine right in. And furthermore, he had some political prisoners that were captured from the war, from the Battle of Azov Sea, actually in the Azov Battalion, which the Russians really hate, and they were happy he was keeping them prisoner. He just turned them back over to Ukraine, and Russia's furious over that. So yikes, guys, it's getting crazy over there. Where's it going to go? I don't know. Oh yeah, well, say Turkey's got their own reasons to go after Syria because Syria harbors some of the Kurds that Turkey don't like. Turkey don't like anybody that might rebel against them. NM Condon says, we the people project remove. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I got well water. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I got well water here. I ain't got none of that stinking junk in my water. All right, Taiwan war would hit Japan and Philippines, South Korea hardest due to the devastation of supply chains. Guys, if nobody gets engaged militarily and if China just shuts down the South China Sea like they're wanting to and forcing everybody to be approved, that's going to hit the supply chain automatically. That would give them the ability to totally choke off Japan, Philippines, and South Korea. That's why that whole area is so strategic. our allies, Japan, the Philippines, and South Korea, and Taiwan, are all totally reliant on trade through the South China Sea. And of course, if Taiwan's taken, then China will have an open hand at shutting all that down and more. So this is part of why this is such a pitch situation evolving over there in the Far East with China. It's just part of the picture. I'm going to paint this picture a little bigger for y'all in a separate video in the not too distant future. Why I think China actually will have incentive to hit sooner rather than later. And why I think their 2027 thing, that's their Sun Tzu. Here's the target, watch the birdie, while they're actually planning to come in over here a little earlier. And they'll do that because of the forces that we're on a schedule to set up out there. Well, they'll probably want to preempt it. You love Oklahoma. There you go, winning streak. Might be driving through Oklahoma some very soon. Oklahoma, hey, that's where I'm at. Who else is in Oklahoma? We'll have to do a survey of everybody here a little bit, see where everybody's from. We'll do that at the end of the video, as we usually do. Yikes, guys. So it's getting crazy. See, and Xi is telling his guys to deepen their war combat planning and training. He's telling them to double down, to get very serious. He's warning them the PLA is facing an increasingly unstable and uncertain security outlook, which is more than our government will tell us, right? China, and here's the other thing, you know, talk about supply chains. China controls a lot of stuff that we need. And they got a lot of the minerals, and they're also making negotiations, a lot of the other countries that have other minerals that we need. So, Sound of Freedom, a great movie. There you go. So it's amazing how it's actually outperformed Indiana Jones. But, you know, Indiana Jones used to be a great franchise. I mean, you know, all these things that come out of Lucasfilms used to be great swashbuckling entertainment. But then they got, you know, the best way to run a movie franchise is to let Disney buy it, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, so Iran actually got one, guys. They just seized a commercial tanker. I just did a whole video talking about their 2 attempts within a day got thwarted by the U.S. Navy. Well, they pulled it off. They keep seizing these tankers. What in the world are they doing? Are they trying to provoke this war? I don't know, guys. Who let the dogs out, huh? Who let the dogs out? Oof, oof. All right. Well, economic news. Second wave of banking crisis incoming. Crash could be worse than 2008, according to this expert here. I'm not going to go all into it. You see a lot of stuff out there. More people are saying we're going to have an economic crisis, and they're citing like a dozen different things. But I've seen an article or two saying, no, we're not. One of them is because we're saying that the baby boomers still have a lot of money to spend. I don't know, guys. So I'll have to check all the chats here in a minute. China's coming quite formal. They are very formal, especially within the theater around China. They totally dominate. So how do we even get in there to do what some people want to do? All right, guys, let me come off this minute. I got to talk this for a sec. Guys, imagine this. Most of you have a certain preference. You already got a certain way of what you prefer. Most of you, the majority, according to polling data. I'm just going to try to be scientific about this. Polling data. Now imagine this. You marry someone, your significant other. Let's say, for example, if you're a woman, you marry a man, or if you're, hey, Jimmy B. What are your thoughts on Janet Yellen going to China? Oh, man. Well, she's known as a big apologist. She's over there trying to negotiate, soften things up with China. She's much in favor of China, I do believe. The bigger thing is that I got to really wonder how, you know, Biden talks a tough talk about China, but we know some money flowed. So where's he really at on that? Is he serious, or is he setting us up? I kind of think, you know, a lot of the world leaders want a war. War keeps them in power because we don't change administrations in the middle of a war. That's another topic I want to pick up in the video specifically. I need to do that as a special topic. And I'm going to have a cadre of special topics to do here in a few weeks So I might be moving. It might be hard to put together all this stuff. So she bowed to the Chinese. Yeah, she did. Just like blinking. You know, I did a whole video. What was the title of the video? Blinking Bows. Blinking Bows. That was my title. Well, she did too. She did too. So you were so right there. So right there, Jimmy B. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go on here. Let's look at some of this banking stuff. Guys, we got so many financial eggs that are cracking on us right now. And then you look at the debt and the way it's going up. How are we going to sustain ourselves, guys? How's it all going to work? I switched over faster than I meant to. You distracted me there. I had a special story I was building up to. So just imagine this. Just imagine this. You're a man, you marry a woman. You're a woman, you marry a man. Let's say maybe possibly you're happy with that. Maybe you're one of these people who that's all you want. Well, imagine this. Imagine if your significant other decides they want a sex change. Let's say they decide they want to go to the butcher and get their organs slashed and dashed and become something other than how they were born. I think, you know, your genetics really determines who you are, is my humble opinion, but that's my humble opinion. I gotta be careful how I say that on this platform. I get in all kind of trouble. But let's just say for the purpose of talking here, you know, you got a preference and your partner for life suddenly switches on you and decide they want to become the other. And more so, they want you to pay for it. You're going, what? I don't swing that way. Maybe that's your case. Maybe not. I'm not here to judge one way or the other, but here's what gets me. Imagine, you know, what two adults do, what they want, that's none of my business. Keep the kids out of it. That's all I got to say. But listen, guys, just imagine if suddenly your partner decides they want to switch. Of course, that means you would be switching whether you wanted to or not. But look, you ain't got no choice, according to some. Refusing to fund your partner's gender transition could be domestic abuse. Refusing to fund. If you refuse to pay for your partner's new lifestyle choice, how they want to go to the butcher shop and what they want to get done to themselves. Hey, Desert Rose, love you too. You're so sweet. You get no choice. You got to pay for it. Whether you want it or not, it's their choice. It's their choice, but if you don't pay for it, it's abuse. So what? Now you might want to watch who you get hitched up to. What do y'all think about that, guys? (1776) beats 1984. Amen, Anton. That's why you're single. There you go, Desert. Well, okay. Well, Fox News has got to answer to some of this. They're saying, hey, if you're a woman, you want to become a man, well, man up and go in and register for the draft like all the other men. You really want to be a man? Do what a man does. Well, I don't know, maybe. This is the one that really gets me here. Now, Anna Kasparian, she's a liberal co-host for the Young Turks. Apparently, she just admitted on the Sunday show last week on YouTube that puberty blockers are not reversible and they can cause, I see a lot of people, there have been articles on this already, but can cause irreparable harm. Of course, we're told now that if your kids decide that they want to block their puberty, you as a parent got no say. All they got to do is just say, hey, I think I want to be this, I want to be that, or I don't want to grow up. Then go in and the doctor will, without question, just automatically start dishing this stuff out. And you as a parent got no choice. That's the way they want it. What do y'all think about that? Jim from the suburbs, divorced fast. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Put antennas on my head. I can't claim to be a Martian. gender. Hey, maybe time for my tinfoil hat. All right, come on, tinfoil hat time. Woo! This topic is getting in that tinfoil hat territory, ain't it? That would literally cause some domestic abuse, according to Jim in the suburbs. Well, they're saying if you don't pay for it, then you are committing domestic abuse. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, here's the other news. You know, the courts just come out and says, hey, the administration can't be going out to social media and forcing them and telling them to take down posts because they got a certain political bent to them or persuasion to them. They can't go out and muffle free speech. Well, guess what? Biden is fighting that. He says his inability to go out and take your post or tell social media to remove your post that he just ain't really thrilled and happy with does irreparable harm. What? Oh my gosh, they just won't quit, will they? What do y'all think about it? Is he right? What do y'all think? You know, I'm gonna have to get in the middle of the road here. I've already got on such thin ice tonight. I might be taking off air. I hope not. I really technically don't think I've said anything that violates the rules, but yeah, who knows? It might judge separately. I hope not. CDC admits not including diagnostic codes. I don't even want to read this out loud. What's this speak to? You know what I told y'all the other day? I told y'all that the reports that come out sometimes don't match what the scientists and engineers say, what they write. Management gets hold of it and things change. So don't lecture me on the science. I had a kid, a high schooler, in my Facebook friends list who started really just heckling me and challenging me constantly on certain things posted. And I tried to tell him this. He said, show me the science. I said, I got the science. I got one of the world's leading climatologists, you know, the guy who actually monitors the satellite data. Oh, this kid just wouldn't shut up. I unfriended him. I got tired of it. It's like, you just can't hear nothing. You're just a kid and you're trying to, I'm an engineer with decades of experience. I'm practically a scientist and you're sitting there trying to lecture me on science. Good gracious. You don't even understand how the scientific process works or what happens in organizations. I do, been there, done that. So anyway, this is it. But now this is admission by the CDC. The government actually admitting this. I'd hate to get in trouble because I report something. The government admits. Anyway, but I got to be careful. I'm not going to say this magic word here in this construct, but this is just an article out there. That's just the news. All right, let's get out of that stuff. That stuff is dangerous territory. This earthquake occurred recently here. 3.5, Guyers, California. Here we got one right here. What was that? Oklahoma? Was this close to you, Rose? Where's it at? Yeah, Reno, Oklahoma. Desert Rose. As I know now, a lot more than I knew. Here, this one's up here in North Carolina or Virginia, or let's see, Virginia border, Virginia, North Carolina border. Hey, was that good or what? I said, North Carolina, Virginia? I knew it's a border. There's no borders painted on this map. I just kind of guessed it. Okay, that's cool. We see some stuff rocking. Oh, I think rocking over here in Puerto Rico is usually Alaska. There's your West Coast. Yeah, we got the usual suspects. That looks like a 5.5 there in the Solomon Islands. That's a big one. Could be a lot bigger. Fortunately, there's another one right underneath this one. We got two earthquakes right here. That's what the big one was. Can I grab this? No, I grabbed the inner circle. The inner circle is 4.7. Oh my gosh. Let me zoom in so I can grab that outer circle. That's just north. That's right there in Taiwan. Oh, Lord. All right, what's that one? 5.1. Yeah, I thought I was going for 5 something. All right, guys. That's up. Turkey's shaking again. Greece, Cyprus. You know, Greece and Turkey can get over war over, well, that's not Cyprus. Cyprus over here, right? Let's see, where's this? Kastri, Greece. And of course, a lot of people saying this volcano up here is about to go off. So this is Hafnarfjordur, however you say that, Iceland. The term is guesstimate. Oh, hey, Notman's wife, how you doing? Good to see you here. All right, guys. So we got a lot of shaking going on. Anybody here from down under? We got anybody here from New Zealand tonight? We usually do when we come in. General Sorrow, how you doing? Iran, are you in Iran? All right, let's go here and look at the weather. Got a little rain here, 75. It's been hot here today. Especially got hot in my house, but it's cooled off outside now. It's cooled off a lot. Hunts Patch is 75. Birmingham's cooler further south, 73. But Mobile, Montgomery is 77. Let's go up to Maine. Rain in Maine is definitely a pain. Bangor, 66. Well, so there, every temperature on the map up in this part is 66. Portland, 68. Halton, 68. Okay. Let's go down to, got Oklahoma in the house. 70, 73 in Oklahoma. Oklahoma City, 73. Randy's from Utah. Ridgefield, 64. Slick, Salt Lake City, 66. Just like up in Maine. Flagstaff, 67. Alpine, 63. Phoenix, 98. Yeah, Phoenix is a hotbed. But Snowflake is 75. 98 in Phoenix, and Snowflake is about the same temperature as where I'm at. Flagstaff's pretty cool. All right, bring me some cold air. There you go, Granny. You want some cold air? I'll have to get you some up from somewhere. Oh, it's trying to get me subscribed now. It's about to probably put the code on everything. I'm gonna get rid of that screen. Let's get rid of it. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Northeast Georgia, safe zone. Northeast, well, depends. Let's see. Let's go Northeast Georgia. Yeah, that's not too bad up in Northeast Georgia. At least you're away from the coast. If you get down here, there's a huge submarine base. Big sub base right here, guys. That's probably going to be a big target. But Northeast Georgia, your biggest thing to worry about is going to be some of these nuke plants over here or some in South Carolina. But I think up in this area, you're probably pretty good. You just got to watch all the zombies coming out of Atlanta. I hope you're not too close to hot Atlanta. So what your temperature is up there in Northeast Georgia. Imagine you got some pretty country up in that area. 68 in Helen. Blue Ridge is 68. All right. Zoom out again. Nashville is 73. Knoxville 73. Since they call Knoxville, don't pronounce a K. Let's make it like an N, but Nashville starts with an N, so I'll just call them Knoxville and Nashville. My weird sense of humor. Boise City out there. All right, let's go up to Alberta. Is Arnold in the house? Red Deer 61. Edmonton 62. Silver Lake 6. Wow, just like kind of Maine. High level, those highest temperature 71. Watson Lake 73. Fort Nelson 73. And British Columbia. Delta Junction 61. Galena, that's lead. 53. That's the mineral name for lead, Galena. Nome 52. Kotzebue 53. I ought to get up there one day to Kotzebue. Barrows 34. All right, nice summer temperature, 34 degrees. Hey, Fava, Blue Ridge Rocks. I'm just below it in the foothills. Taco, we make our own medicine. There you go. Go out and dig it up out of the woods. That's called witching. I used to do that. I used to harvest yellow root and sell. I used to get a whole great big grocery bags of yellow root and sell them for $5. I think now you can get a little bitty quantity and probably get $12 for it. You can't hardly find that stuff anymore. Yeah, it's got that Burbane in it. All right, we'll come over here and look around. Russia's in the 60s, 50s over here in this part. Go down to Moscow is 70 though. Kiev is 68. Luxembourg 71. Amsterdam 70. London is 62. Look here. Dublin's 57. How about that for wintertime? 57. Does that look like global heating to you? 57. Jen from the suburbs. Oh, thank you, Jen. Salute. Thank you. Appreciate that. All righty, guys. I don't think I said anything that's over the line, but if I'd have kept talking, I would have. But I've said enough on certain topics. Getting too close. I got some storms over here up in northern India. All right, let's go down to Australia. Anybody in Australia in the house? Probably will respond. I probably just missed it. J-Mac doing the exercise of fermentation. All right, very good. So Jen, how you doing? Well, thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. Hit that hitchhiker button. There you go. We got 189 in the house and only 125 thumbs up. All right, help us out. Desert Rose is right. If y'all don't know, Desert Rose is one of the sweetest persons you'd ever meet. All right, it is wintertime down here. Pretty mild winter. The looks of it. It's actually warmer here than it is up in Ireland. So Melbourne's 59. Which you get close to, up here, you're up close to the equator. Darwin, 84. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Weepa? I don't know. 88. Perth, 61. Somebody's hitting the love. Appreciate that. All right, let's go over here to New Zealand. He's got, where's Snoop Dogg at? Is Snoop in the house tonight? 48 down here. Hey, Tom. Christchurch, 52. Auckland's 55. All right, that's enough weather on Earth. Let's go to space weather. Look at the sun. Ooh, there's a big sunspot coming around. Uh-oh. She'll be coming around the sun when she comes. Whoa, back. She'll be coming around the sun when she comes. She'll be coming around the sun when she blows her top will be done. She'll be coming around the sun when she comes. I can't help it, folks. As a poet, it's that Odinic spirit in me. Now look, a plumb bob. We got a Spock plumb bob flying on a balloon to be sold to you. Oh, it's a wine stopper. Oh, I'm thinking, you know, building things. Wine stopper. Okay, I'm not a big drinker, so I didn't recognize that. I thought it was a plumb bob. Winning, thank you. I'm blushing. Oh, why would you be blushing? All right, in the asteroid world, you know, in spite of the articles that show up every week, this asteroid as big as 3 football fields is zinging by the Earth. And it might be, you know, 16 times the distance between the Earth and the moon. You'll see that in the papers. So really, give me a break. Nothing is coming inside the orbit of the Earth and the moon that we know of. There may be one we've not seen. It might zip by and it'll show up on here the next day as a near miss, but you know, we don't know of it. They're usually smaller. We're finding most of the big ones now. We're getting pretty good at it. So we've been pretty good in that territory. All right, Granny's trying to borrow some rain, Nelton. You get a lot of rain, and what's probably good for you, as long as not too much. All righty, guys, enough of all that. Stop the share. Hey, Lo. Alrighty, guys. Woo, I've been keeping my hair up most of the time lately because it's hot. I do not have AC here. So you see me with my hair tied up. I had somebody ask me if I cut my hair the other day, and no, I just got it tied up. Ponytail because it's hot. I don't have no AC here in this house. There we go. That's what I usually do these days. Keep it tied up. My mane. My daughter always told me she thought I looked like a symbol of the line. Especially when I used to part my hair on top. That's before it grew long though. All righty. She's a little kid. Hello, Elton. Desert Rose sharing the heart. Thank you, Desert Rose. Hearts for you. Hey, Nuke, I hope not. Yeah, we hope not, Granny. That's what I covered in the very beginning of the video here, is that maybe you missed it, is that Medvedev is claiming that our use of these cluster bombs might evoke nukes from Russia. And I showed how bad the cluster bombs are. I mean, let's see why you're saying that. But it's also the fact we're taking the ATACMS over, which can reach way back into the Russian rear. Some of the articles out there are claiming that once Ukraine gets the cluster bombs, they'll be able to take out the munitions depots that supply the Russian troops, and the Russian troops will be in severe trouble. So I'm not taking sides here, guys, but that might be a game changer, and that may be why Medvedev is coming out and saying this, because this time we might really be crossing a red line, possibly. South Atlantic anomaly is growing according to data that appeared in the government report published earlier this year. It is. It's been going all along. And, you know, if you're a satellite guy or if you're a space station guy, you worry about the South Atlantic anomaly. We studied that back when we were doing the International Space Station first design. I was involved in what is called Space Station Freedom, my first job. And I started working Space Station in 1990. First job 90 to 93. I worked it again 98 to 90 to 93, and I worked Space Station again 98 till 2000. Was it earlier? And I worked it again 2002. I've had different jobs working Space Station. I got several years working Space Station. Robotic systems integration. Did the nodes, the layout for all the wiring that runs in the nodes. Basically, I assigned what went where in terms of power and data. I actually picked the pin outs for all that stuff in both nodes 2 and 3. And then I did the payload integration for external payloads. So I worked it from the standpoint of the outside with the robotic system. I helped Gary Barnhard write the change request that established a utility tray that runs up and down the space station, provides all the utilities to everything on the outside. And, you know, so I've had quite a bit of involvement in the International Space Station. So I got quite involved in trying to get the issues for the ORU tool platform for the special purpose Dexidus manipulator worked out. I facilitated that. And so I've got a lot of impact on the space station, guys. I heard that song, man. Greg, I thought of you. What song was that, Rose? She's my Rose of old Kentucky. Let's see. I think a big solar flare is coming soon. Well, you know, it's unpredictable. With that big sunspot, it's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. And those things can grow all at once. I just blew. Oh, all righty, man. Let's keep the family here, family friendly. Yeah, they didn't quite go that. You didn't get quite over the edge, but that's close. Just careful what language we use here. We're a family friendly channel. 500 open air test burned a lot of holes through the ozone layer. That's true. Rocket Man. Oh yeah, the song Rocket Man. They actually played that at the funeral I was at today. I went to a funeral of one of my old co-workers. He and I worked together for 17 years. He had been a submariner, worked on a nuclear submarine. He was a guy that listened for sounds, and so he got really good with frequencies and testing things and detecting things. Then he wound up working in Sequoia. He became a nuclear plant operator for Sequoia nuclear plant up the road here, close to Chattanooga. And so he's got a lot of nuclear plant experience. So I get a lot of what I've talk to you guys about nuclear plants. A lot of that I got directly from him. I was actually planning to interview him on this channel, talking about Zaporizhzhia things, but he's passed away on me. I never got that opportunity. So I apologize to you guys for not bringing him on. But you know, since he worked on the space launch system, all these other things, his funerals and was held actually in North Georgia, just south of Chattanooga. And yeah, the last song they played was Rocket Man at his funeral. So yeah, it was kind of a touching thing. You know, I saw a lot of my old friends and coworkers. There's some coworkers that retired that came to his funeral I hadn't seen in a long time. So you know, it was kind of a little bit of a sad reunion with some people. But I'll probably never see a lot of those people again, since I am no longer working at the Marshall Space Flight Center. So some of those guys I've seen today I'll never see again, most likely. A few of them I will, but some of them probably never. So yeah, thank you, Derek. He was a good man, really good man. And he could tell some stories. He was a lot of fun and extremely smart. Extremely smart. And one of the things he did on the side, he ran a bearing. He could listen to bearings and tell you how they were going to fail, when they were going to fail. He had all these acoustic measurement tools and just all kind of good stuff. The guy was really brilliant. About emojis, General Sorrow. Where are you from, General Sorrow? Are you from Iran? You said Iran earlier. Is that where you're from? School early. Okay. So predicted 90% population reduction in 18 months. Yeah, if you take out the whole grid, you fry those big transformers. The current event was estimated size sunspot to be 9%, 50% of the disk surface, maybe up the size of Jupiter. Yeah, well, that could happen. It's random. You know, we've had some major solar flares kicked out on the other side of the sun here over the last several months. Major, huge. We don't even know what magnitude they were, because we couldn't see it directly. Oh, near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, good. USA. Gotcha. I was talking about Iran or Olivia. Like, Greg, do you know what your IQ is? It's at least higher than 4. So no, it wasn't Ringo, but it was close. It was close. What was the name of that community? Still in my, no, I didn't erase it. You go, it's just south of Chattanooga, just a little way south of Chattanooga. It wasn't quite Ringgold, but it was north of Ringgold. But yeah, I've been Ringgold. Actually, I was born on Ringgold Road. But not in Georgia. Not in Georgia. So you find a Ringgold Road in Alabama, you might know where I was born at. My dad was born in Georgia. Same Turner. I am 70, an ex-Army and ex-police, and I'm losing friends faster than I can count. But sad, but sometimes we must all endure. Yeah. Well, I just went to another funeral, so yeah, I'm definitely with you there. It's sad. Losing many friends. Now, Spence was actually, that was his nickname, Spence. You know, Glenn Spencer was his name, but he went with Spence. He was actually 73-year-old. He died of congestive heart failure. He had a heart attack. Doc Holliday. Buy gold, silver, and food and other valuable commodities. Yeah, hey, I got the goldbacks. If you look at my links, I got links to goldbacks, guys. I got to coordinate with them. Religion is the number one thing people can find hope in. Yeah, it seems like none. Yeah, doom chaser. That's a good way to chase doom off. We all need some hope. That's one of the problems. That's what we're failing our kids. The system is telling the whole world is, you know, rotten to the core, and especially America, and they're telling them how, you know, the environment's going to, you know, end in doomsday. You know, if the temperature goes up another 2 degrees, it's the end of the life on Earth. They're hearing stuff like that, and you just listen to AOC, listen to Greta. Of course, according to Greta, we just passed the doomsday mark, about a month ago? Yeah, that was when the world was supposed to come to an end. Oh, Zen, it's not that high. At least it wasn't when I tested a long time ago. I'm not tested since I was in the Army. I can still tie my shoes. GG, your IQ has to be higher than that cause mine is or was. All right. Oh, yeah, Samuel, it's rough. So I feel for you, man. I know what you're going through, and you're probably seeing a lot more of it than I am. But I'm getting more. I'm getting enough shared. It's a drain, man. It's a drain. Yeah, I was kind of depressed this evening. Yeah, there was that and some other things. I was kind of down and out for a little bit this afternoon. So I actually had hoped to get on here earlier this evening, but just I couldn't put everything together. Desert Rose, more common sense probably. Well, that's a good thing to have. Good thing to have. So Doom Chaser, yeah, too bad, not religious. I just smoke weed and my IQ's dropping. Oh. So let's see, Nightman's wife, General Sarah, we're close to Berg. Okay, yeah, she's in Florida. All right, guys. Yeah, we should do it. Let's we hadn't said a prayer for folks in a long time. So let's have a little prayer session. We're going to ask everybody where you're from, and we're going to be done. So again, prayer request. Standing prayers is Granny Lana and her granddaughter Kaylee. You stand with her. New days. I need to pray for new days. But she's about to go on some surgery, and her friend Miss Mapley, she's been caring for us, going through a difficult spot. And let's pray for Chewy weather. Chewy's not in the house tonight. Chewy's had 3 strokes, my friends. 3 strokes. We need to pray for Chewy weather. And Mandy Blau, the Blue Ball Bunny Farm, is going downhill fast. His wife, Susan, made me this. And Susan, she's the one that coordinated me getting some rabbits here recently. I'm okay, you desert. I'm okay. Hey, reminds me of something. Just remember, I need to pep up. I've not had any C60 today. I mean, I ain't taking all my meds today either. I just take vitamins and stuff mostly, but supplements. But do the gummy bears, because the other stuff requires me to use a spoon. So when I'm on here with you guys, I do a gummy bear. I'm not done C60 today. I got to do that every day. Go to shopc60.com and use the code Greg10 and get 10% off. There's your avocado, your coconut oil. It tastes really sweet. This is your avocado oil version. It comes in, it's oil soluble. And this is cinnamon. I like this stuff, guys. Check it out. Sasquatch Money, thank you for sending the evening with us, Greg. Another great show. We're getting more prayer requests. I seen any prayer requests here. Lee, yeah, we'll pray for Lee. Lee is apparently just got over his lung fungus, but he's had some migraines, some side effects from taking the medicine that he used. So yeah, definitely we'll say a prayer for Lee. I'll stand in Ox for help. Thank you, New Days. Got 660, Greg 10. That's it. I'm gonna have to use a knife to cut this open. Sport it. Sport the pack. I did one of these last night, didn't I? Be careful, I'll run out. I have to bring a spoon down here and some of these live sessions to do the oil. Guys, there it is. That is a tart cherry flavor. You can get the gummies. Quite a few things we got available. So my kids just love they eat a cookie or a cracker or a chip that way. They'll laugh. You big chip at it, hanging out your mouth and choom. I always make the kids laugh. Woo. Tart. But good. Big old box. Still quite a few left in here, but I've been making some hay on this with these live sessions. I'm gonna have to mix it up with some more oil. Wow. It's like pepperoni. It don't taste anything like pepperoni. Stuck a feather in my cap and called it pepperoni. I used to wear feathers in my hat. Desiree, I kind of like being underestimated. 4'10". Well, that's all cute. 4'10" and all cute. All right, yeah, yum, yum, yum. X Dragons, go for it, okay. See if I missed anything. We're about to do the prayer session, guys. I hadn't seen a lot of prayer requests. We need to pray for world peace. We need to pray that we don't get into it with Russia or China. I think that's one of the big things we need to pray for. Lone Star Mama is Sabrina G. Houston, Texas. Hey, there you go. You got Lone Star Mama. All right, guys, let's do that. Let's do a prayer session here. Just identifying, okay. I was told shorter is cuter. Short is cute. Absolutely. Read a poem. All right, I'll do that next time. I'll do that next time. Hey, I used to do it pretty regular, didn't I? I got to break out my poetry thing. I can pull it up. Project Thor. Pray for wisdom and honor for our brothers. There you go. All right, let's do the prayer. This is not a religious channel. We pray because we're family. Family prays for family. And we'll pray for the world. And I don't tell you how to pray. So it's just not a religious channel. I'll leave that up to you. If not religious, a moment of silence is golden. Let's have a quick prayer session. Amen. Hey, there's Arnold. Greg finds a good woman and settles down. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm scared. I might have to pay for a procedure. Lordy, lordy. There we go. Don't become a man you days. More peaceful passes around the sun. There you go. There you go. Amen. Steve, I prayed for everybody we talked about in the world. That's what I prayed for. Better late than never. Amen. That was poetry. All right, winning streak. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes I just wax poetic. All righty, guys. Tell us where you're from. How long we been in here? 69 minutes ago. We need to speed it up. We're about to go. It's 2:30 in the morning here. All righty, guys. Tell us where you're from. Got a bunch of chiming in already. Got 178 in the room, 171 thumbs up. Let's get just a few more thumbs up, guys. If you're in here and you hadn't throw a thumbs up, throw one up. Yeah, I've had a half a notion. You know who we're not seeing in a long time is Gorgeous Awesome. Gainesville. There you go. Sammy Turner. Thank you, sir. Just remember that it ain't over till it's over. Get breakfast on me. Salute, Samuel Turner. Copperopolis, that's a heck of a name. Copperopolis, Northern Cal, Area 51. All right, Jason. Montana is young. Houston, Texas, Derek. Yeah, I got family in Houston area. North Florida, X-Dragon. All right, X-Dragon, you're close to Nightman's wife. California, Doom Chaser. Kung Fu Grasshopper. Grasshopper. I'm in the middle of the best country in the world. I hope that means the United States. Kung Fu Grasshopper. Grasshopper. California, live your life. What a new day said he got Granny Tickle. Go back up and see what that is. What? I'm all woman with. New days, you gonna stay all woman? All right. Wow, from everywhere. How cool. That's right. We get people from all over. We usually have somebody in Minnesota, Columbus, Ohio, Australia. I knew we had to have somebody from Australia in the house, or New Zealand. We always do. Sometimes we got some people in here from Europe. Kentucky, Shelley, C. Shelley. What can you hardly even say that? I don't know. Hey, miss our disagreements. Oh, you guys need to be, you miss fighting with each other? Poor y'all. The best country in the world, Texas. Country of Texas. 2 days. I'm on the northern border, northern stronghold, with neighbors and a bulldozer. Hey, I need to borrow a bulldozer. Oh, she's my rose of old Kentucky. General Sorrow, my old Kentucky home. No more pumping thumb up. Too many join chat. Well, you know what? We've probably had 800 people come through this chat room tonight. So having the number we got is not reflective of really how many people have been here. So, we'll like to see a lot more thumbs up. Extracting. A lot of people come here and here just for a little while and go on. I love all states. There you go. Alaska. Hey, John. No, Arizona. We're in Arizona, John Graves. Nighty night, kittens. Thank you, Winning Street. At 63, I can't change my DNA. There you go. Uh-oh. Bye, winner. Northern Ohio, Great Lakes area. I'm with you every night. All right, Cheryl, appreciate that. There we go. Now we got England. I knew we had to have somebody here from Europe. England. Winning, good night. There you go. Grand Canyon, Arizona. All right. Well, I got a place in Show Low. Maybe heading out there soon. Flint, Michigan. Fazioli, Australia. All right. Bobanzik. Yeah, all right. I knew we'd have a few from Australia in here. Alrighty, folks. Oh, yeah, well, I was about to say something about Gorgeous Awesome. What was I going to say about them? Oh, yeah. They wanted me to actually start a channel in which I did nothing but read poetry. I might do that. A little bit out of topic for this channel. What do y'all think if I started a channel and I just read poetry on that channel? Can't change my sassy DNA. There you go, Granny. Some people are mixed male and female. Well, there are some. born with both. Anyway, I don't think doctors used to would make an assignment when they were born. I think they need to leave it alone. Let the person grow up and decide what they want to be. Y'all make my night. All right, X-Dragon. Alrighty, folks. Hey, listen. We got a lot going on in the world. We need to get ready. You need to get prepared. You need to practice. Gardening is one thing you can do. You do all your other skills. Maybe some of it can be fun, like fishing and camping out. If you can do that, do it. If you can do it the primitive way, do it. Do some practice, guys. Talmud lists 8 genders. I've heard that. I think I've heard some other things about the Talmud too. I don't Talmud. Alrighty, guys. Let's see. Stay safe. Much love. Thank you, Desert Rose. Starshine, 100%. All right. Oh, science books or war books. Yikes. Hey, Doom Chaser. Have a good one, all. All right, guys. Just remember what I always say. As light dispels dark, love dispels hate. The world needs love more than anything. Go out and shine your love light in the world. Let's tamp down all the hatred. Maybe we can get rid of all this war. War's awful. War's horrible. We talked about it Sunday night. We talked about some of the atrocities. It's just because of stuff that happens. A lot of people don't believe Americans could do what happened at Malay. Also, a lot of that happened here in the South. That's why the South had such a bone to pick with the North for a long time. A lot of that happened down here too. Maybe not quite that bad, but it was bad. Hunting and fishing is fun. There you go. See, prepping don't have to be all, it can be fun too. Practice, and then it can be exercise. Need to do some exercise. Part Scottish, a lot of stubborn. All right. There you are. All right. Yeah, I probably couldn't even spell them all out. I dated a girl once who maintained there were 50 genders. I could not keep up with that. Maybe going from 50 Shades of Gray. All righty. Evil book. Yeah, I got to be careful what I say, but there's some, like I said, there's some stuff in there. Some things I hear. My head's on a swivel and eyes wide open. All right, Sal, that's the way to be. Just like I always tell y'all, just that. Keep your eyes wide open and head on swivels. Coming at us from every direction. That's why you need to get ready. That's why you need to prepare. That's why you need to prep. Use my videos. Send them to your friends and family. Tell them, guys, we need to prep. Things in the world are going crazy. Send them my videos as evidence. And then you also find the videos where I tell people how to prep, where I tell them how to deal with a nuclear disaster, how to deal with an EMP. I got videos on that too. And I also got videos on how to eat free from the weeds and the trees. So share some of that. Some of the gardening videos. All right, folks. Went shooting for the first time today at the range. All right, Starshine, that sounds great. Except the Fire Brother says, Doc, well, thank you. I'm kind of like Samuel Turner. I'm an Army guy. There was a policeman. My daddy was Chief Deputy Sheriff of Marshall County just before I was born. All right, J Mac. So law enforcement's been in our family. Nugs and Kipples. There you go. Why? Just remember that happiness is a warm mug. Nug. Happiness is a warm nug. Have you hugged your nug today? And always remember, we proudly promote global warming here. All righty, folks. So that I'm say thank y'all for watching. Thank you, super chatters. Wow. Samuel Turner and all the rest of you guys who've been super chatting. Y'all have been awesome tonight. That's great. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, it makes my night. Y'all made my night. So Timothy Bill, cool. Thank you, Greg. Granted. All right, guys. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Thank you, mods, and everybody for being here. And hit the thumbs up on your way out. And I want everybody to have an awesome night and an awesome Sunday. With that, I'll say